Doppler effect. Now we have considered 4 equations for the observed frequency. Now I have summarized all of them here. Stationary source. When the observer is moving toward the source, this is the relation we got. Now you can understand here the observed frequency will be greater than the original frequency of the source. And when the observer is moving away from the source, observed frequency was this one, and here the observed frequency is less than the real frequency. Then here observer is stationary. When the source is moving towards the stationary observer, observed frequency is this one, and here the observed frequency is greater than the real frequency. When the source is moving away from the stationary observer, this is the relation we got. Here observed frequency is less than the real frequency. Okay. Now if you carefully observe these relations, in this case observer is moving toward the source and source is stationary. What is V? V is the speed of sound in air. Then stationary source can observe the speed of sound as it is. Now if the observer is observing a wavefront coming towards him, real speed of the wavefront is V, but observer is running towards the source with UO speed. Therefore a wavefront will be coming towards him as seen by the observer with V plus U0 speed. That is this one. Now this is the speed of sound with respect to the source, and this is the speed of sound with respect to the observer. Now come to this one. In this case observer is moving away from the source and the wavefront is moving towards him. The speed of the wavefront with respect to the ground is V. Then observer will observe while running with U0 speed. Observer will observe this type of a wavefront as if it is coming towards him with V minus U0 speed. Then this is again the speed of sound with respect to the observer, and source is stationary, so this is the speed of sound with respect to the source. Now look at this one. Now observer is stationary, so he can see a wavefront is coming towards him with V velocity. So in both of these cases observer is stationary, so this is the speed of sound with respect to the observer. When the source is moving toward the observer, a wavefront is moving towards the observer with V velocity with respect to the ground. Source is moving towards the observer with US. Therefore, source will observe such a wavefront as it is moving with V minus US speed. Now remind the relative velocity you learned, and look at this situation again. Now source is moving away from the observer, so wavefront is coming toward the source. Therefore source will observe such a wavefront as moving with V plus US speed. So now all of those 4 equations you can see in this fraction. Numerator is the speed of sound with respect to the observer, and the denominator is speed of sound with respect to the source. Now this property can be used to find observed frequency at any situation when both observer and source are moving. Now we can summarize this idea into a single relation like this. Observed frequency is speed of sound with respect to the observer divided by speed of sound with respect to the source multiplied by F0, that is the real frequency. Now you must remember observer is in the numerator and source is in the denominator. So I think you can better remember using this picture. So the observed frequency is this one. So better to take down this type of relation, you may remember better. Now this Doppler effect is used in day-to-day life in several locations. One is, you may have experienced this. If you have get caught for high speed in the road, the policeman use a special device. This device know the speed of your vehicle using the Doppler effect. And also in radar they use Doppler effect. That is how the radar locate any intruder coming into their territory. Now what happens if the speed of source is exactly same as the speed of sound? Then the wave pulses can be seen as this. Now all those are the centers of the circles. Now each circle is centered one of these positions. Then you can understand how it happens. Now source is moving in this direction. Then in front of the source, all the wave fronts are bunched up. Now here constructive interference take place. A wave of very high amplitude will be generated. Now this is called a shock wave because its amplitude is so immense, and those are compressions and rarefactions, so pressure will be very high and it will be dangerous actually. Therefore practically we don't allow this to happen. Supersonic must exceed the speed of sound at a certain moment for it to exceed the speed of sound. So there's a moment where speed of sound and the speed of supersonic are exactly equal. Then this type of situation comes. So that is called the sound barrier actually, because this immense pressure makes something blast. Now we can hear a blasting sound. We call it sonic boom. Now consider what happens when the supersonic is traveling with greater than speed of sound. Then the wavefronts will appear like this. Now each wavefront is generated from outside of the previous wavefront. Then wavefronts will be cross each other along this line if you draw them in circles, but actually wavefronts are propagated in spheres. Therefore here spheres are overlapping each other. Then you will have a cone. Okay, this is called the match cone. Then along the surface of the match cone you can see wavefronts cross each other, constructive interference take place. As a result, the shock wave appear along the surface and the sonic boom can be heard. Okay, so it is just like the thunder when it showers. Okay, look at this carefully. You will hear a thunder like sound. That is called the sonic boom.